Hello, bettors and bettees. Welcome back to the Fades and Parlays podcast, episode number 2. We are proud to announce. My name is Mr. Wright. I am one of your hosts. The other host here is Mr. Sanders, sitting to my right. Say hello, Mr. Sanders.
Hello, Mr. Sanders.
So we now complete our very first week of preseason. Very exciting weekend of football. We actually did take a couple of games this weekend just to kind of get our feet wet, kind of get our gears oiled up for the upcoming season. So we're going to go ahead and talk about a few of the games that we picked this weekend and give you some of those results. Mr. Sanders, we took Kansas City versus Jacksonville, first half money line. How'd that go?
Didn't go very good. It ended pretty bad. That first drive, boy, that hurt. Tied the game up, but then ended up allowing a touchdown. Cole Hardman with some stupid ass thing with his penalty safety, so we took an L on that. This is why I was telling people don't do nothing too crazy. It's preseason. I mean, I personally put $5 just to kind of make a little bit of money, kind of feel it out.
$5.
I know.
Preseason,
week 1.
Getting the gears lubed up, getting the feet wet.
WD-40 and all.
There it is there. Moving on to the second game we took, which was Tampa Bay at Cincinnati. Again, first half money line. You're shaking your head. What happened there?
So we had the chance to actually win that game, but Cincinnati kicker missed the field goal at the very end. Wide
You
right.
have one job. You have one job.
Can we make a freaking kick?
That's all they do in practice, literally, is kick.
Yeah, that cost me $5 again.
Preseason, baby.
Preseason. Big difference. Huge difference.
Okay, so the next one we took was Houston versus Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Actually took money line on that one.
Yes.
Okay, how we panned out on that one?
So that one pretty much went the way it was. I didn't bring it out loud to anybody throughout YouTube. I need to be so used to holding these things close to the vest, so I wasn't able to make that out loud. But that was one of the other 2 games that we ended up taking. It was 17-0 at half. So Pittsburgh made a little run, but the Texans were pretty much everything that, they're everything I thought they were.
They're exactly what we thought they were.
Right.
Okay. All right, well, so success.
Yeah, so we ended up hitting that one, yeah.
Got some money back on that one?
Right.
Now, the final game we took this weekend was Miami +4 versus Atlanta, which, for those who don't know, let's go ahead and go over that +4 one more time.
Yeah, so the spread on that game was actually 2.5. Miami was +2.5.
But we don't do the halves, though.
We don't do the hooks. We do not do the halves. I'd rather push my money. So I made it +4. That way they pretty much had to do a touchdown, or just in case, McDaniels tried to be McDaniels, because I knew there was no Tua. But I know Skylar Thompson can handle his own against secondary. And then Mike White, I knew he would be doing his thing. So that was pretty much a whooping from the go. So I just ended up, for that game, I ended up putting like $6 or whatever my change was, because the payout was a little different, just so I can make, about $3.50. But that's the difference, which we'll learn as we go once the regular season starts, because it's a whole different world then.
Right. All right, well, for the first week of betting, kind of a mixed bag of results.
Yeah.
Just kind of putting our fillers out there, kind of seeing what team's going to be doing. Did you learn a lot this weekend about some teams, maybe surprised by some, maybe not surprised by some players that maybe impressed you?
Yeah, you know what? It was good to see some the Bears quarterback,
Caleb Williams.
Yeah, to see Caleb. Really, really important. Everybody's got this fool as the next Patrick Mahomes, and let's just slow way down. And but he really looked good, just from the little that I saw. So that was really nice.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, I watch every single second of every single preseason game.
But
Bo Nix looked really good too.
Back to the Bears real quick. Why there's so much excitement in that city right now? Because correct me if I'm wrong, in their whole entire history of that very old franchise, never have they had a 4,000-yard passer, correct?
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean, I
Right?
guess in some ways it's crazy. I would have figured Jay Cutler, if anybody, him and Brendan Marshall were doing things for a couple of years. Alshon Jeffrey was another one. So yeah, that was a little surprising. Uh, but just the weapons that he has, the Bears have never had this before. It's just never been done. The last Super Bowl they went to, their quarterback was Rex Grossman.
Rex Grossman.
Yeah. So, which by the way ended up taking Indianapolis in that Super Bowl and covered. And Dominic Rhodes actually should have been the MVP, in my opinion.
100%. 100%. Well, talking about Caleb Williams and how people are kind of got him as the next Patrick Mahomes after one preseason game.
One preseason, yeah, before the one preseason.
I was going to backtrack and say actually last year in college, they're calling him the next Patrick Mahomes, which actually goes right into a new segment that we will be doing.
Pump your brakes.
Right now. I have a couple questions for Mr. Sanders here that are going to kind of go over some popular thoughts amongst some of our most popular so-called experts. I will put the quotation, experts who work on some of your more major networks, who get paid to talk about football all day long. They have access to the most detailed stats. They have whole labs of statisticians giving them information, and they come up with these things. They come up with these things that we have to slow down on just a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. So
Pump your brakes.
one popular thought, right, amongst these so-called experts is that J.J. McCarthy, the quarterback right now currently for the Minnesota Vikings, will be starter week 1. Now, before you answer, Mr. Sanders, I want to say he did have a fairly decent preseason game. Looked all right. But you feel a different way about him being week 1 starter.
I do. Well, one, I know for a fact now he is actually going to have surgery on his knee.
Oh,
so
really?
There's no way he's going to be the week 1 starter anyway.
Breaking news.
Yeah, I saw that today.
Okay.
I think it was his meniscus, or his MCL.
That's
so
tough for him.
Yeah, so, but he started off a little rough, which is understandable. So I mean, I get that, but he really put it together as the game went on. He's got a little arm on him.
He does.
So that was really nice to see. Pocket presence is really important for any team, even though they were going against the fourth string of the Raiders, and they were getting gutted by the run game, gutted.
Right.
But yeah, he really did. He looked super solid. But even if that didn't take place, there's no way that they're going to throw him out there like that with Sam Darnold being there. I'm so sick and tired of hearing these experts, who I call giraffes, because they just take shits from way up there. It just doesn't. It's ridiculous, man. I don't know why they come up with this concept. You don't need to put a gun to everybody's head just because they were drafted in the first round. Sometimes you need to learn. There was this one quarterback. God, what was his name? He plays for Kansas City. Pretty solid quarterback. Oh, yes. Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. He
He's
sat
all right.
behind Alex Smith for a year.
People
Next thing
seem
you know,
to forget that.
Yeah. Yeah, and then next thing you know, 50 touchdowns, 5,000 yards, MVP, on top of which they should have won that championship game if dude didn't jump off sides, because it had nothing to do with Brady's pick. So
100%.
they would have been gone to the Super Bowl anyway. It didn't happen. So let's kind of just pump your brakes and just take a deep breath. Sam Darnold, even without the injury, is your week 1 starter.
There we go. Agreed. Question number 2 for you, sir. Many experts, so-called experts, or giraffes, as you like to say, because they like to spit shit from up high, right? In their tall network buildings and studios and fancy. Miami is a very popular Super Bowl pick for this year. Thoughts, sir?
Tua, who I call Tua fan.
To offend.
I'm overhyped, in my opinion. Unfortunately, the quarterback's going to make what they make.
Why do you think he's overhyped, though?
Listen, dude is scared in the pocket. If they can't release that ball and then they're 3 seconds, he's in trouble. Go ahead and give Josh Allen, Jordan Love, Jared Goff, Matthew Stafford, Brock Purdy.
Let's go.
Let's give those guys that wide receiving just entire core, and then let's see what happens. Because they're not going to be able to do anything on the road. Look, during this season, I'm sure there's going to be numerous times we take Miami, and I'm not saying they're not a good team, but they ain't a Super Bowl team. You need to pump your brakes. On top of which, their defense is trash.
Really?
They just now getting Phillips. They ain't going to have Chubb, who I think is overrated anyways. Their defense is not very good. It's not going to be very good this year. Miami is not going to the Super Bowl. For everybody that's thinking it, pump your brakes.
Pump your
and
brakes.
Just, yeah, man, come on, man. Yeah,
Right.
it's just, no. But we will be taking them during the regular season because they will be a track meet team in the sunshine. But we're talking about the big Monte Cristo. So, no Super Bowl. The only Super Bowl they'll be having is when they're watching it from home.
Will they win a playoff game?
Well, it's going to depend. The Jets are going to be healthy. Who knows what you're going to get with Buffalo? You just don't know.
Right.
You know, that division is nasty. It isn't the AFC North.
Right.
But, you never know what the Patriots might show up a couple of games. But you got to go into the Bills. 2 is 1-6 versus the Bills with that offense. We'll see what happens. If the Jets are healthy, that defense is ruthless as hell. Give them 20 points on offense.
At every level, right? That Jets defense on every level. From D-line, linebackers, safeties, corners. Not really very many holes in that defense.
No, they get a healthy Rodgers with that run game and what they're doing. That Allen kid was running that ball so hard on that game against Washington. I was telling people, Spaghetti-O, we need to pay attention to what this kid's doing. I get it's week 1, but sometimes this is what I be seeing. He's just running hard. Well, he's running hard. It was very interesting to see. I'm keeping my eye on him.
And a running back who's running hard in the very first preseason game is only going to get harder as the games get real and become important and things are on the line, right? So if he's running like that already, that shows he has that foundation. That's just how he runs.
Yeah, and it would be good to have, too, with Breece Hall. Because 100%. That way Hall is only touching, because he's going to get stuff out the backfield as well. But that way you're keeping his touches around 250. And then you got someone that's going to run it down your throat and make you say, nah. And then next thing you know, Aaron Rodgers, and a leap shot when it gets to Garrett Williams. Or Anderson, excuse me.
Right. Garrett, yes, 100%. Garrett Wilson. Now, question number 3 for you, sir. A lot of these pundits, a lot of these experts are talking about a kid coming off of an ACL, didn't play last year, right? Or got hurt last year. Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray apparently is the dark horse, shall I say, MVP favorite amongst these giraffes who shit from up high from their network studios.
Here we go.
Thoughts on the Kyler Murray dark horse MVP for this season?
I don't take anything away from him. When he came into the league, I remember constantly seeing a very, very, very popular insider saying he's never seen so many people in his life at a draft to find out just how tall the guy was.
Right.
And I thought that was kind of crazy. But I wanted to see what he can do. And watching him through preseasons is, being able to throw, 10, 12-yard outs from the other hash line and seeing if he can make those, throws. That was important for me to see because this is the NFL, not Oklahoma.
Arm strength with him isn't a real problem, though, right? Arm strength is...
I mean, listen, he's able to do it, and I don't take anything away from him. He's a very solid quarterback. But
Right.
you're talking about to be an MVP. Look, Arizona played with guts last year, and they didn't have a great record, but they just seemed to ball out. They ended up beating Dallas in the game earlier in the year, to where I ended up taking Dallas, lost that game. But, they played guts out, and they get Harrison, and we'll see what happens. You guys are already crowning him a Hall of Famer with some people, and it's just like, let's relax. It's not
another
Marvin
pump your brakes.
Harrison.
Pump your
Yeah,
brakes topic
pump
right
your
there.
brakes. And
Yeah.
with the dark MVP, man, pump your brakes. That
Right.
ain't happening. It isn't going to happen. That means Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes. God, if Hill was healthy, he would have been the MVP. Christian McCaffrey, I get it's a quarterback award, but pump your brakes.
Okay, but I will say, the MVP from last year, Lamar Jackson, right? He didn't have a great throwing year. Did he even throw for 4,000 yards?
3,600 and change.
3,600 and change. So, I mean, Tyler's capable of throwing for 4,000. He's capable.
That could be the case, but Lamar, where did they go? 13-4, 14-3. He had 24 touchdowns, 7 picks. He had a career high in completion percentage, career high in passing yards. I actually won money off of somebody who said he'd throw for 4,200. And just to be nice to the guy, I told him, you know what? I tell you what, instead of 4,200, just to help you out, we're going to make it 4,000. He still couldn't reach that mark. I don't understand how that man was MVP, hell of an athlete, but I'm done hearing it. Oh, we didn't have wide receivers. You're supposed to make your wide receivers better. So everybody needs to chill out. Lamar is a hell of an athlete, but to me, he's not a top 3 quarterback. Maybe top 5, maybe, but Dak had a better year than he did. People are talking about how are you paying Jordan Love? How are you doing this and how are you doing that? Yo, man, Jordan Love played 1 year, and half of it, he ended up going off. And I didn't put money on them until after the Thanksgiving game because I needed to see it. And, well, away they went. So people need to chill out and pump their brakes because Lamar will, I assure you, we will definitely be talking about all kinds of that come the season.
So season. Okay, now, before you go off on a Lamar tangent, we'll go ahead and get into question number 4 for you, sir, which we actually kind of went over a little bit already. We spoke a little about Caleb Williams and how the experts are saying he'll be the next Pat Mahomes. On that, pump your brakes. Just go ahead and pump them. Right? We haven't seen enough yet, right? I mean, let's give the guy a chance to play a real game first before you. I mean, goodness, let's see his season first, correct?
Yeah, I was reading an article this morning.
Written by one of these giraffes.
Well, one of the guys, sometimes I'll actually read his articles and he's got good stuff. Again, I'm not into the analytical stuff like he is. I don't do all the analytics. I play the game the way the game is played, and then I adapt to the way that team plays the game and how they would play it versus the other team. But they were talking about a quarterback island, and they could only put 12 quarterbacks. And they're like, but you can't put rookies. And they're like, yeah, but I want to put Williams. And it's like, he played a preseason game.
Yeah.
In Buffalo.
Yes.
You've got to be joking, in which half that defense, especially the secondary, are pretty much all new. You got to be kidding me. Pump your brakes, man. Let the dude play and give him time to play. You're already crowning the man the greatest thing since sliced bread in Chicago. It's like, can we just chill out and relax and let the man play? The guy can win 1 Super Bowl. 1.
He'll never pay for a drink in Chicago as long as he lives.
And he'd probably be bigger than Michael Jordan. Which is crazy because I grew up in the Jordan age. And
Whoa.
But that's how big and crazy these fans are for football. I mean, they will literally put him on that pedestal. And it's like, listen, I get the hype. I get that you're excited. I get all of it. I've been watching this game and doing this for a very, very, very long, decades upon decades. I ain't never seen Chicago have an offense before. I ain't never seen it. So this is really, really crazy. Let's see what happens. And everybody take a deep breath and just let the man play. Just pump your brakes. Let's just see what happens. Well, we want to thank you for tuning in to the Fades and Parlays podcast. We're definitely trying to grow and make this bigger and better. We are so excited for the season to kick off. Just so excited. I can't wait. We hope that you click and subscribe for Mr. Wright. I am Mr. Sanders. Thank you very much again for watching the show. Again, make sure you click and subscribe. Make sure you have a safe night. Thank you very much, and we'll see you Saturday.